So, like, PT standards for you guys. So, like, patrol versus SWAT. Like, what are you looking for?
The PT standards for patrol is the Cooper standard, and it's 30%. It's pathetic. Don't get me started. It's pathetic. SWAT is like 50 sit-ups in a minute. That's bare. That's moving.
Okay.
11:48 mile and a half.
Okay.
That's moving.
Yeah, it's moving.
Is it 8? 8 and 10. I forget which is pull-ups and which is chin-ups, but it's 8 and 10. I forget which. Yeah. Not hard. And the push-ups, I think, is just 35 without stopping. Once again, not hard.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So that's to get into the school. And then once you're on the team, they're similar, but it's on a scale. I don't have to run a 11:48 mile and a half anymore. I can't right now. If they told me that I would lose my spot if I didn't hit it, then I would hit it. I would need a couple months to get there, but I'd have to lose some weight and hit it. Yeah. So, but, you know, my running pace is about, I don't know, what am I at right now? About 9:15 is my quick run. Yeah. My just trolling around was like 9:30. That's my normal run pace is 9:30. Back in the day, it was like 8:30. Could I get back down there? Yeah. If I focused on it and just lost some weight, lost some muscle, and just really focused on that, I could get there again.
Do you think those running standards are actually realistic for both SWAT and patrol? No. For example, like you got SWAT and the military who are very focused on running still, like, you know, these long jog type.
Yeah, not really. I think it just shows that you know, life's a cardio sport. Yeah. Combat's cardio. It really is. So that you have to have a cardio aspect. There has to be some aspect of it. Otherwise, you can have somebody that's 100 pounds overweight and passes because they're strong. You know, you can't have that. So there has to be some aspect of cardio. Do I think a person who can run a 9-minute mile and a half is really that much better on a SWAT context than somebody who runs it in 12? No, not really. Not at all. Mm-hmm. There's guys who I crush them on PT, on the PT standards, because the PT standards are designed for guys like me. I'm 5'8", 205 pounds. I used to be, when I first got on the team, I was like 5'8", 172. Okay? I've put on years ago I won a U.S. title at 153 pounds. when I was a fighter. But that's weight classes and all that. Right, I was tiny. Yeah. So I'm a hell of a lot stronger now. I'm a hell of a lot stronger at 205 than I was at 172. Like a hell of a lot stronger. But I'm slower. Yeah. But for what we do, I like the strength. Yeah. So, but there's guys on the SWAT team that
you are far more capable at 205 than you are at 170.
Well, it depends on how far I got to run before the gunfight.
Yes.
But mechanized, right? You know, but to be brutally honest, you know, that like back when I was a young guy on the SWAT team, I've chased suspects in full armor and caught them. And if I had to do that again today, that exact same scenario that I did 10 years ago, I couldn't catch that guy now. I'm just not as fast. Now, luckily, we have young guys who can, and I still meet the standard, but I'm just not fast enough anymore because that's the reality of just getting older.
But even in that, that's a sprint, not a jog.
Right.
So, very different cardiovascular activities, really.
You know, I need people who are very fit for their age, but can still hit the standard. If you think you're going to be the same guy at 45 that you were at 35 that you were at 25, you're lying to yourself. You're not. You're just not. No. It is what it is. I've lost a lot of flexibility, a lot of mobility. I've kept my strength. I've lost some cardio. It just, you're fucking getting older. It's a hard fact of life to accept. But it comes to
you can't train nearly as hard as you can.
Yeah, and your primary concern is injury, is not getting injured and recovery. Yeah. And you can cheat, you know, you can get on testosterone and HGH, and I'm a miracle of modern science. I'm not too proud to admit it. Okay, my fucking, I'm on so much stuff. My piss is worth $100 an ounce. But it doesn't change that. 45 is still 45. You know what I mean? I still don't recover as quick as a young buck. I'm still not as fast. My heart is still 45 years old.
Yeah.
So you just got to be mindful of it. So, I mean, there will come a time where I can't meet that standard anymore, and it's just time to go.
Yeah.
And I acknowledge the fact I'm in the twilight of my career. Mm-hmm. So, could I push it to 50 with modern science? Probably. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. I could also
get usefulness. But at that point, your usefulness isn't in your physical condition. It's what's in here.
Yeah, I'm predominantly, I still go operational quite a bit, but, a lot of what I do on the SWAT team is training, is developing curriculum and training young guys, training my replacements. I also got arthritis in my lower back. I've had 2 back procedures where they did what they call a rhizotomy, where they burned off the nerves in my lower back.
Yeah.
This in the last year and a half. I've had that. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries from old injuries from fighting. You accumulate that shit. If you live this lifestyle, if you live this martial lifestyle where you're committed to, I don't know what to call it other than the martial lifestyle. I don't want to say combat because I don't do combat, But I was a fighter for 15 years of my life, and then I switched to this, and I've been wearing armor and beating up my body doing this for 15 years, or a little longer than that. And that has a cumulative effect on your body. It wears your joints down. It wears your back down. It breaks you. Now you have, the other option is you're fat and lazy, and you have, adult onset diabetes when you're 45.
Yeah.
But your joints are in good shape. I have chosen the path of wear and tear, but healthy heart.
Yeah.
You pick your poison.
Living a fit, good life.
It has, when I had the issues with my back that I had to get repaired, and I'm sitting there with the doctor, and I'm thinking I did something wrong. Did I, I don't deadlift anything anymore, really at all. I don't squat. I don't deadlift. I'll squat like a 45-pound kettlebell or something like that, but I'm not squatting like heavyweight, right? I don't do it anymore. And I asked the doc, did I fuck up? Should I have not lifted this? Should I have not lifted that? Not for my sake, but because I have a son and a daughter, and I don't want my kids to repeat my mistakes and end up where I'm at injury-wise if they can avoid that. And he said, no, you look like every guy who is in special operations or every guy who's in some sort of high-speed, armor-wearing, gun-shooting profession. I help those people too. You look just like them. You have the same wear and tear. This is just, it's the cost of doing business. It's the life you chose, and this is what you got.
Yep. Bad necks, shoulders, and backs.
Yeah. And honestly, for as long as I've been doing it, and as long as I was a fighter, I've walked away with relatively few injuries. Honestly, I have arthritis in my hands from boxing for years, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I don't have the shit.
Muay Thai is very.
It's a rough sport. Yeah, it's rough on the body. Not a lot of old Muay Thai fighters, but I've taught recruits who did powerlifting their whole life, and it's this one officer. He's an officer now. He's huge. He's a gorilla of a man, but he shakes. Now, for a guy who shakes, he shoots great, but he'll never be a SWAT guy because he shakes too much. But he passes. Yeah. I mean, he's fine. But he did so much damage to his tendons and his nerves in his arms that he shakes. But he's still strong as a bear. He's a monster, absolute monster. That's the price he paid. He's willing to pay it for where he's at. I get it.
Yep.
And he accepts it. He's not like, woe is me. I earned it. Everything I got physically at this point in my life, I earned it.
Yep.
So,
I mean, it's the cost of doing business. There's always a cost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Being physically fit, there's a cost.
Rent's due every day, and selection's a never-ending process. Mm-hmm. And that's the key is every day. How do you, Rob? How do you stay in shape? I got one rule every day: do something every day. I don't care what it is. So it's if you want to, and obviously you're where I was. I mean, how old are you now? 20.
I just turned 29.
Okay, 29. So I didn't get on the SWAT team until I was 30, but I had been committed to that lifestyle, and it's you got to have kind of like some long-term vision on it. You got to train your body in a way that you can do this for a long time. If you think you can just will yourself through it as you get older, if you think that you can just fuck it, it doesn't apply to me. Age is just a number. My raw will is going to push me through this barrier.
My mindset's going to push me through this.
I tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah. Ignore and override my mindset. I'm just not a pussy.
You can slow down or God will slow you down. You pick. Sooner or later, you got to accept the fact I'm not that guy anymore, but I'm going to be the best guy I can and be mindful of trying to not get injured. I realized I was that guy one day where I was back when I was still squatting weight, and I don't even remember how much was on the bar. Not an amount you would brag about. And I think I was supposed to do 10 reps, and I got to rep 6, and something felt a little funny. Yeah. And I racked it and I walked away.
Yeah.
Where the other me would have gone, only 4 reps left. Let's push through. And I'd have pushed through those last 4 reps, and that's where that injury would have happened.
Yeah.
But instead I went, I don't know what it was. Didn't feel right. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm hanging it up and I'm walking away. Are you going to come back? No, I'm done. In fact, I might not do it again for a week just to be safe. And I'm going to go stretch.
I had one. Sorry, but I had one when I first started lifting. I was in my early 20s. At this point, I had a coach and all that. So, of course, there's some pressure there to perform. And this was when I first started. I was probably 2 months in. And I remember I went into the gym, and I was doing squats that day. And I tore both on both sides, both adductors, on an empty bar warm-up set. Just went down, came back up, and tore both my adductors. It wasn't a rupture. They didn't completely separate from their insertion, but I tore them. So what did I do, being the brilliant, probably 21, 22-year-old I was like, well, I got a coach and he expects me to squat whatever it was, 185 for 3 sets of 5 that day. So I sit there and waddle over, continue my warm-ups, and squat, 3 set of 5 PR with torn adductors. Like, literally walking to the bench, waddling to the bench, tears coming down my eyes because I tore both my adductors. And he's like, that was stupid. I look back and I'm like, my adductors still aren't the same ever since then. These things.
I used to chase numbers because that's what you do. And that number, right, determines my worth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then I realized that my kids don't give a shit how much I bench.
Yeah.
My kids don't give a shit. My kids don't love me any more or less if I can run a mile this fast versus that fast. They don't care. So it's all relative, The shit I did in my 20s, fitness-wise, I'm glad I did it. But I mean, I think that's what your 20s are for, is just doing stupid shit. But I mean, do 100 burpees. Okay, no problem. 100 burpees.
Yeah.
If I could talk to me 20 years ago, I would say, cut back on the burpees. I think burpees caused my lower back a lot of damage, but I would still do them, but I wouldn't do as many as I did. I got into sandbag workouts in my mid 30s. I did a ton of sandbag workouts with tons of weighted burpees, and I mean, I used to run with a 45-pound vest all the time. Yeah, lots of running with weight. I was stupid. I was so dumb. That
beats the shit out of your back and
knees. Yeah. But I could do it, and I was stronger for it, right? I was a fucking monster. But now it's about pushing out the clock and, doing the things you can do as long as you can. And still hitting those standards. You give me a standard, I'll hit it. But I'm not the guy I was back then. You can't be.
No.
So
I'm not the same I was when I was 21. I figured out the hard way a few months ago at the very beginning of this year. Like, I was strength training 4 times a week, doing jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai 5 or 6 times a week, along with all my other, hiking that I do and training on the range and all that. And then I hit February, and my body was a wreck. Like, I had so much pain. Like, my knees I had one knee that was just real bad for like 2 months. My shoulders, everything just hurt. I could barely do anything. And I had to stop strength training for 2 months. I had to cut back the jiu-jitsu, to at least half. I had to stop Muay Thai for a while. Just, I'm not 21 anymore.
I used to be able to do 30 pull-ups in a row. I could do 110, 120 push-ups, and I could do it because I was a boxer. I was a fighter. I was doing 1,000 push-up workouts 3 days a week because I could do it, and it was, you know what I mean? Now, am I a better SWAT guy now, or was I a better SWAT guy then? I'm a better SWAT guy now. Mm-hmm. I didn't need that strength. I didn't need that, endurance. I didn't need it. I'm smarter now. I have more experience now. But I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I can say I was that person for a while, and I saw the things that my body could do at that age. But now I can't, and it's okay. Now I could probably do 15, 18 pull-ups in a row, maybe. Depends on how I'm feeling. But I tell you what, if I'm on pull-up number 9 and I feel a little pull in my bicep, I'm done. I'm taking a break. Yeah. I'm going to go stretch this and ice this for a while. That happens all the time. I do the Murph every year. My Murph, I think my best Murph time with the vest, with a 20-pound vest, was somewhere around 41 minutes.
Okay. That's a pretty good time.
I used to be able to do a sub 30 with no weight. I would do it all the time. Not anymore. And this last year, I didn't even do the Murph because at the time, I had a bicep injury.
Oh, yeah.
And I accepted the fact that, not doing the Murph this year.
Yep.
It's a mature decision. Whereas, and the year before that, I did the Murph, but I went from, because I noticed the previous year when I did the Murph with the 20-pound weighted vest, it tore up my biceps doing the pull-ups so much. I couldn't do pull-ups for a month after doing the Murph. So I said, well, fuck that. Yeah. I'm going to go from wearing a 20-pound vest to a 15-pound vest. And that gave me the difference I needed to not be a mess for a month.
Yeah.
Now, did my pride want to do the 20-pound vest? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I said, those days are gone. It's okay. I'll do it with a 15.
Still more fit than 99.9% of Americans.
Yeah. And when people ask me what my time is, I literally that 15-pound vest, not 20. I tell them I don't pretend to be something I'm not, but it's, but that's, tactical maturity. Time for the post-video shameless request for support. If you guys like my content, you want to see more of it, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell. You guys know how YouTube works. Better yet, support my channel. Go to my website, daishotactical.com. There you can find a variety of products that I make myself at my workbench. I make a variety of slings in a bunch of different colors, quite a few different models. I also make shooting bags. Any money spent at the store really does help me moving the channel forward and making more content for you in the future. Thanks for watching.